Nagar School. I welcome you back for the statewide online lecture of history. And last time we have seen the chapter number 4, that is economic development. And today we are going to see the next chapter, that is 5th, education. So we will be studying in detail what education policies, what the steps have been taken by the government to implement in education field. In this chapter, we shall review the main stages and schemes in the development of the educational system in India. So in this chapter, we are going to see what are the main stages and what are the different schemes that have been implemented so that the education system will be developed in India. We shall take into consideration primary, secondary, as well as higher secondary, and besides research institutes in some representative areas. So we are going to see the primary, secondary, as well as the higher education also. And rather than we are going to see the research institutes also. This will give us an idea of the educational system throughout the country, so that we will get an idea of educational system, how it is going on in the entire country. So in 1951, the first census of independent India in 1951 revealed the extreme complexity and intractability of educational issues in the country. So during the census in 1951, the extreme complexity was there in the educational system, or different issues where they related to education have been revealed by the census done in 1951. In the first census, the literacy level was 17%. Now see, in 1951, the literacy rate was 34. Then in 1981, it has become 43%. Then in 1991, it has come to 52%. And in 2001, it was 64%. So you can see the literacy rate was increasing. Improving this practice was a serious challenge for the government of India. So improving this percentage. So we are seeing the percentage is increasing, but there was a very serious challenges were there so that this percentage will increase. Several remedial schemes were put in place to deal with it. So many remedial schemes were implemented so that the literacy rate will increase. So now see, we will see the primary education. Primary education refers to the schooling given to children in the 6 to 14-year age group. Now this is the primary education refers to the children in the year, their age is 6 to 14 years age group. Okay, so there it is referred as the primary education. In 1988, the central government started a scheme for the spread of primary education and to improve educational standards. So in 1988, the central government has started a scheme so that the spread of the primary education will be more throughout the country, and it will be improving the education standard. The standard of education will be improved. Now that was given the name Operation Blackboard. So in that, what are the things they have told? That needs such as at least 2 proper classrooms. At least 2 proper classrooms should be there. Then toilets, one of the 2 teachers to be female, and teacher, at least if 2 teachers are there, one of the teachers should be female. A blackboard should be there, maps, laboratory apparatus, a small library, a playground, sports equipment, etc. So all this should be there. Means their aim was that these should be provided to the schools so that the education will be more developed. This scheme helped the primary education system to gain some momentum. So because of that operational blackboard, this scheme was implemented, and that has given a speed to the primary education. In 1994, the scheme was expanded and provision was made for one additional classroom. So in 1994, in the Operation Blackboard, again one provision was made that at least one additional classroom should be there. And for appointing one more teacher in school with an enrollment of more than 100 students. And this was also implemented in that scheme, that one more teacher should be appointed, or if the students are more than 100 students. If the number of students are more than 100, then one more teacher should be appointed for that school. With priority given to girls, schools with a majority of scheduled caste and tribe students, and schools in rural areas. And priority to girls schools means what? Girls schools should be, they have given stress on girls schools should be more, and schools that with the majority of scheduled caste means the children from the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe should be more, and schools in the rural areas, and especially the rural areas. It was also made binding upon the state government to appoint female teachers to 50% of the post in schools. And this was again one more thing added in that at least the female teachers. State government has said that appointment of female teachers should be at least 50% of the post in the school. Now we have seen the primary education. Let's revise again. Primary education refers to the schooling given to children in the 6 to 14-year age group. Remember now, what is in primary education? It is a education given to the children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. Then in 1988, the central government started a scheme for the spread of primary education and to improve educational standards. It is known as Operation Blackboard. So in primary education, remember Operation Blackboard is included in primary education. So what is in Operation Blackboard? We have seen it was started in the year 1987 to 88. The aim of this program is to improve human and physical resource availability in primary schools of India. The main aim of this program is to improve the resources, that is the human and the physical resources means the schools, libraries, all that playground and all that are physical resources, and humans means the teachers, then the other staffs, non-teaching staff, that should be included. According to this program, every primary school should have at least 2 rooms. At least two rooms should be there, 2 teachers and essential teaching aids like blackboard, chalk, duster, etc. So at least 2 classrooms, 2 teachers and essential teaching aids like the blackboard, duster, chalk should be there. And that is made available by the government schemes. In 1994, the scheme was expanded and provision was made for 1 additional classroom and for appointing 1 more teacher in school with an enrollment of more than 100 students. So again, in this scheme, 1 addition was done, that on if the students are more than 100, 1 more teacher should be appointed, with priority given to girls schools. Means girls schools are given the priority. Schools with a majority of scheduled caste and tribe students, and schools and rural areas, and school in the rural areas, they are given more priority, and the school which is having the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe students. To appoint female teachers to 50% of the post in the school, and 50% female teachers should be appointed in the school. Now let's move to the next topic, that is District Primary Education Program, that is DPEP. Again in 1994, the District Primary Education Program was started with the objective of universalization of primary education. Means now this District Primary Education Program was started. What was the main aim of that? What objective they were having? That universalization of primary education means throughout the country, same education should be given in the, at least in the primary section. It was implemented in 7 states, including Maharashtra. So it was started by the central government, and it was implemented in 7 states. 7 states together it was started, and Maharashtra was also included in that. The plan envisaged 100% attendance in primary schools, arresting student dropout, education for girls, and for the physically handicapped. So now this plan includes 100% attendance should be there of the students in the primary schools, and arresting students dropout means the students who are not studying further, they are just leaving the studies in the not completing the primary education also. So what are the reasons that should be found out? Education for girls and for physically handicapped, especially for the girls, education should be at least of primary education they should complete, and the physically handicapped also. It included programs such as research on and evolution of primary education, alternative education, creating social awareness, etc. So it included the programs such as research on, means whatever the research is done, and then evaluation of primary education, how to do the evaluation, then alternative education, not only the whatever the main subjects are there, other than that some should be included. Creating social awareness, so through the education social awareness should be created among the students. So now what are the aims and objectives of DPEP? Enrollment of all the school age children in the age group of 6 to 11 years. So the in the age group of 6 to 11 years, all students should be enrolled to the school. Retention of all the enrolled children in schools without any dropouts. Means what? All students should continue their studies. No dropout should be there. Means no student should stop the studies in middle. Completing the 5 years of primary education with quality. Means completing the 5 years of primary education with a quality, means getting good quality of education. Promoting of girls education. Girls should be educated more. They should be given more facilities. Provision of integrated education for the disabled children. Means now disabled children means we have seen the handicaps. So special integrated education should be provided to these disabled children. Involving the community for the better functioning of schools. So better functioning of the schools, involvement of community should be there. 69 schools were benefited through this schemes. So around 69 schools were benefited through these schemes of district primary education program. So not only providing the primary education, but the government had given stress upon the midday meals also. The midday meal scheme was started in 1995 to provide proper nourishment for students. So this scheme was started in 1995, and what was the aim? That proper nourishment should be provided for the students. Through the meal, they should get the proper nourishment. Now, do you know? Students, this is not in your syllabus, it is reduced, but for information sake of, I'm taking this. After the formation of Maharashtra state in 1960, the government took the decision to implement a common statewide curriculum for standard 1st to 7th. So just we'll see, you don't have to study this for exams. Principal Syed Rauf of ST College, Mumbai, was assigned the task of preparing the draft of this curriculum. So he was assigned to prepare the draft of this curriculum. Now, can we achieve? So in 1991, Kerala became a fully literate state. The literacy rate was 100% in 1991. Now, what steps must be taken to achieve 100% literacy in Maharashtra as well? So, to attain the 100% literacy in Maharashtra, so what steps has to be taken? Now, again, do you know? Tarabai Modak began work in the field of education in Bordi and Kosbad. Now, this lady, she has begun the work in the field of education in the place called Bordi and Kosbad. She started Anganwadis for Adivasi children. So in Adivasi, in the remote areas, she has started the Anganwadis for the Adivasi children. She worked hard to bring in the learning by doing method to start Puran Shalas, meadow schools, and to spread vocational technical education. So she has made a start, means Puran Shala she has started, and also spread vocational technical education, means whatever the technical education should be given to the children, she has started that also. Then Anu Taiwar established an institution at Kosbad for the progress of Adivasis in Thane district. So she has also done what? She has started an institution at Kosbad so that the development of Adivasi children should be done in the Thane district. It is known as Kosbad project. So it is known as Kosbad project. She started crèches, nurseries, primary schools, adult education classes, Bal Sevika training schools, etc. for education of Adivasis. So she has done a great work. She has started many nurseries, primary schools. Then adult education means not the children. Okay, the persons, the big people. She has started education classes for them also. Then Bal Sevika training means the training given to the teachers who will be teaching to the children. Bal Sevika means small children. For the, now she has done these many things for the education of Adivasis. Again, the same thing. What we have seen now only. Tarabai Modak, she has done the great work in field of education in the place called Bordi and Kosbad. Then she has started Anganwadis. Then she worked hard to bring in the learning by doing method to start Puran Shalas and spread vocational technical education. It's a Tarabai Modak is a great pioneer in preschool education and child welfare program in India. She evolved a simple Anganwadi, a courtyard or open school on a rural pattern for preschool care. So the idea of Anganwadi is started by Tarabai Modak. So a school on the open ground. Anganwadi is what? The school in the open ground and on a rural pattern for preschool care. So the children who are very small, so for them Anganwadis are started. The concept was brought into by the Tarabai Group. So we have seen Anutai Wagh also. What she has done, she also has established an institute in Kosbar, and she worked for the progress of Adivasis in Thane district. Again, the project was given the name Kosbar project. She has started nurseries, primary schools, then adult educational classes she has started, then training given to the Bal Sevika. So she has done the work in the field of education for Adivasis in Thane district. After the formation of Maharashtra state in 1960, the government took the decision to implement a common statewide curriculum for standard 1st to 7th. Principal Syed Rauf of ST College Mumbai was assigned the task of preparing the draft of this curriculum. Then we have seen that Kerala has became the literate state in 1991. So what steps we have to take so that Maharashtra will also get the 100% literacy rate. So now we have finished with the primary education. Now we will move on to the secondary education. After independence, Education Minister Maulana Abul Kalam Azad decided to bring about fundamental changes in the field of education. So after independence, the educational minister Maulana Azad, he decided that he will bring fundamental changes in the field of education. The University Education Commission was set up for this purpose. So he has set a University Education Commission was set up so that fundamental changes will be brought in this field. This commission recommended the appointment of a separate commission for secondary education. So the commission will have what that has recommended the appointment of separate commission. So separate commission should be appointed for secondary education. So in accordingly in 1952 to 53, the Mudliar Commission was set up. As it was stated that separate commission should be set up for secondary. So in the year 1952 to 53, this commission called Mudliar Commission was appointed. At that time, the pattern of education consists of 11 plus 4 years for the first degree or of 11 plus 1 plus 3 years. So the pattern we have seen what it consists of 11 to 4 years for the first degree or 11 plus 1 plus 3 years. Now what the work the commission has done? The commission studied secondary education, the nature of curriculum, medium of instruction, teaching methodology, and made certain recommendation. So the commission had studied the secondary education. A deep study was made. Then the nature, how the curriculum, whatever is included in the syllabus and everything was studied. Medium of instruction. So what, how that is implemented. Then teaching methodology, what different methods are used. And then this commission has given some recommendation that certain changes on what should be included in this they have suggested. This commission proposed the concept of higher education, higher secondary education. So higher secondary education was proposed by this commission. However, it was found difficult to implement it all over the country, but it was difficult to implement throughout the country. Now the Kothari Commission. In 1964, a commission was appointed under the chairmanship of Dr. D.S. Kothari. So in 1964, a commission was appointed and under the chairmanship of the chairman was Dr. D.S. Kothari. Dr. J.P. Nayak made valuable contributions to the work of this commission. So Dr. G. P. Nayak, he has made a very valuable contribution he has done in this commission. The commission also recommended the 10+2+3 pattern for secondary, higher secondary, and university education. So this commission has recommended 10+2+3 pattern. The system was implemented from 1972. So the pattern suggested by the commission was implemented from the year 1972. The commission also suggested a uniform national system of education, the inclusion of mother tongue, Hindi and English in education. So the commission has suggested uniform national system of education, means same education should be included, same the thing should be done, uniformity should be there throughout the country. That is, then inclusion of mother tongue should be included from the states. See, different states are having different languages, so that mother tongue that state can include. Then Hindi should be included and English in the education. As well as continuing education, adult education, education by correspondence, and open universities to make education trickle down to the lowest rungs of society. As well as education should be continuous. It should not have dropout. Then adult education, education by correspondence means no regular, irregular means not going to the institute regularly, just can appear for the exam. Then open universities are to make education. Again, open university also plays that important role, that much important role. It also recommended increased provision in the government's budget for expenditure on education of neglected sections like the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So it also recommended that provision should be made to the areas which are neglected by the government, that is the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. The government's budget for expenditure should be, they have suggested that this much budget should be, this much financial support should be given to the section of education so that we can achieve the overall uniform education pattern in the country. Maharashtra government adopted the 10+2+3 pattern in 1972 and conducted the first standard 10th board exam in 1975. So Maharashtra government has adopted this 10+2+3 pattern in 1972 and conducted the first board exam of 10th standard in the year 1975. Modernization of education. So these, what are the objectives of education? Modernization of education, social and national integration, nurture of social, moral, spiritual values, educational and productivity, securing and strengthening. So these are the objectives. So through the education, what the person can get. So these are the objectives that through education that could be cultivated in the students. Through education, we can teach them all these things and it can be achieved. So let's revise what we have seen. After independence, Education Minister Maulana Abul Kalam Azad decided to bring about fundamental changes in the field of education. So for that, he has the University Education Commission he has set up for this purpose. This commission recommended the appointment of a separate commission for secondary. So to appoint a separate commission for secondary was suggested by the commission. Then we have seen the Budher Commission, which was from the year 1952 to 53. Then the pattern was 11+4. for the first degree or 11 plus 1 plus 3 years. Then what was the work of the commission? The commission studied secondary education, nature of the curriculum, medium of instruction, teaching methodology, and made certain recommendations. So what they have suggested, this commission proposed the concept of higher secondary education. So the higher secondary education was suggested by the commission. However, it was found difficult to implement it throughout the country. So it was not possible to implement throughout the country. Then we have seen the Kothari Commission in 1964. A commission was appointed under the chairmanship of Dr. D.S. Kothari. So under the leadership of Dr. D.S. Kothari, the Kothari Commission was done. Dr. J.P. Nayak, he has made a very valuable contribution to the work, whatever work was done by the Kothari Commission. The commission had recommended the pattern 10 plus 2 plus 3 for secondary, higher secondary, and university education. Now, main recommendation of the commission. So, what are the main recommendation of the commission? What they have suggested: vocationalization, education and national objectives, stress on science education. So, science education stress was given, should be given more. Education and national objectives should be achieved. Then vocationalization means the particular field. Okay, the technical knowledge should be given, more stress should be given on that. Work experience, common school system, social and national service, medium of instruction, improvement in curriculum, methods of teaching. So improvement should be done on the curriculum, whatever is contained, that should be improved. Some changes should be done in that, and method of teaching. So the different methods were included after this in teaching. The commission also suggested a uniform national system of education, the inclusion of the mother tongue, Hindi and English in education, as well as continuing education, adult education, education by correspondence, and open universities to make educational trickle down to the lowest rungs of society. So correspondence and open universities were suggested by this commission. It also recommended increased provision in the government budget for expenditure on education. So special budget should be given for the education in the neglected sections like the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So Maharashtra has adopted in the year 1972 this pattern, that is 10 plus 2 plus 3, and conducted the first board exams of 10th standard in 1975. So we have seen the objectives of education, that is modernization of education, social and national integration, then nurture of social, moral, spiritual values. So these social, moral, spiritual values will be nurtured, was the main objective of this education. Then education and productivity, securing and strengthening of democracy. Securing and strengthening of democracy means we have adopted the government, that type of government that will be strengthened by the education. Now, do you know the Maharashtra State Board of Secondary and Higher Secondary School established on 1st of January 1966. So the Maharashtra State Board of Secondary and Higher Secondary Education. So that was established on the 1st January 1966, and where at Pune. So this conducts all the exams of 10th standard, 12th standard. So these boards look after into it. This board conducts the school leaving examinations of standard 10th and standard 12th. So standard 10th and standard 12th, we all know that board exams are for these two classes, that is 10th and 12th. The board also publishes a periodical called Shikshan Sankraman. So the board publishes a periodical called named Shikshan Sankraman. Let's move to the further higher education. After independence in 1948, the central government appointed the University Education Commission, whose chairman was Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. So after independence in 1948, the central government has appointed the University Education Commission. So University Education Commission was appointed and the chairman was Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Its functions included financial grants, the standard of universities, and the coordination. So what were the functions of this commission? That financial grants. So where financial support should be given, which region. So that was decided, the standard of university, then the coordination between them. 5-year plans method. The commission accepted the 5-year plans method. It began to sanction and disburse grant to the universities on behalf of the government. So on behalf of government, this commission started sanctioning and distributing the grants to the universities. The commission undertakes planning of university education, coordination of syllabi. So the commission look into the planning of the university education. So how the university education has been planned, that is look into it. Then coordination of syllabi means how the syllabus is coordinated. Giving primacy to national needs through education and the planning and implementation of various schemes of higher education. Means given importance to the national needs through education and planning and implementation of various schemes. So whatever the schemes are given, that should be planned properly and implemented in the higher education. It has done valuable work in establishing university development. So it has played a very important role in establishing the university development councils, then centers for advanced studies for graduate education, establishing new universities. So new universities were established and centers for advanced studies for postgraduate education. After graduation, centers for the advanced studies was given. Then establishing university development councils was done. After the event of television in India, it initiated the countrywide classroom program, which is telecast by Doordarshan on behalf of the commission. So after the invention of television, so the program called the countrywide classroom program was telecasted by the Doordarshan on behalf of this commission. The art department was established in 1965 in Maharashtra to frame the policy of art education and for its implementation by institutes of arts. So this was the art department was established in 1965 in Maharashtra, so that this policy of art education should be, and it should be implemented in the institution of arts. This department undertook the responsibility of organizing the drawing grade exams at school levels. So it has taken the responsibility that to organize drawing grades examinations, means drawing grades grade examinations at school levels. At school levels only they started the drawing grade exams. Now NCERT. This body was established in Delhi on 1st of September 1961. So in 1961, this NCERT was established in Delhi. Its main objective is to help the central government in matters of school education in the context of comprehensive policy and in implementing educational schemes. So the main objective of this NCERT is to help the central government in the matters of school education. So whatever the matters, it has to look into it and implement the various educational schemes. The NCERT was given the responsibility of educational research and development, training, extension, educational programs, restructuring of school curriculum and textbooks. So NCERT was given the responsibility of whatever has to be done in the field of education. The responsibility was given to the NCERT. It may be related to the research and development, then training to the teachers, then educational programs, whichever has to be carried out. Then the restructuring means again looking into the curriculum of the schools and the textbooks. If any changes has to be done, that all has been seen by the NCERT. It has played a central role in designing school curriculum and textbooks with the cooperation of the Central Board of Secondary Education. So it has played a very important role in designing the school curricula and the textbooks. So what content should be there and what the textbook should include. So it has played very important role in designing that, and with the help of Central Board of Secondary, that is CBSE. It provides guidance and cooperation in the area of primary and secondary education to the state government. So it provides, it guides and what cooperation should be done in the areas of primary and secondary education to the state government. It has been involved in designing workbook, handbook for teachers and in teachers training. So it also designs the handbook and workbooks for the teachers and the teachers trainings also. In developing teaching learning techniques. So different techniques of teaching and how to make the learnings teachings very playful, various techniques. Then conducting talent search exams at the national level. So conducting the various talent exams at national level. Then SCRTs were established in all states on the lines of the NCERT. So on the lines of the NCERT, SCRTs were established in all the states. The Maharashtra State Council of Educational Research and Training was established in Pune. So in Pune, the Maharashtra State Council of Education Research was established. This institute performs various functions such as providing the standard of primary education, in-service training of teachers. So this institute performs various functions such as improving the standard of primary, whatever the things has to be improved in the primary education, then giving in training to the teachers, training in the areas of syllabi and evaluation. So how the evaluation has to be done, vocational guidance for the students after 10th and 12th exams. So after 10th and 12th, how the students will select the vocational means courses, different courses, that guidance is given, and educational functions. This institute is known as academic authority. Now this is Jeevan Shikshan. It brings out a periodical called Jeevan Shikshan. The Maharashtra State Bureau of Textbook Production and Curriculum Research was established in Pune on 27th January 1967. So that is Bal Bharati was established in Pune on 27th January 1967. Bal Bharati prepares textbooks for school children. So we all know textbooks are prepared by Bal Bharati. Textbooks are made available in the 8 languages that are Marathi, Hindi, English, Urdu, Kannada, Sindhi, Gujarati and Telugu. Kishore, a monthly magazine for children, is also published by Bal Bharati. So this is the magazine for children According to this policy, certain changes of a fundamental nature were brought about in primary, secondary, and higher secondary education in keeping with the changing needs of society. So some changes are brought by according to the changes in the society. Under this policy, a common core curriculum was framed for all states. So a common curriculum was framed for all states under this policy. The expectation is that by this means, all students in India will get equal educational opportunity. So by this implementation of this policy, all students in India will get equal educational opportunities. Equal education will be provided to all and equal opportunities they will be getting that. National Policy on Education in 1986. The primary education curriculum 1988 was prepared on the basis of the plan of action designed at the national level for the effective implementation of the national policy on education in 1986. So this was a curriculum, this primary education curriculum was prepared on the basis of national policy of education which was in 1986. There is scope in the national curriculum for individual states to bring in flexibility in accordance with their culture, geographical conditions, etc. So then the state can bring some changes according to their adding their cultures and according to their geographical conditions or historical background. The state has that power that it can make some changes in the curriculum. The expectation is that by means all students will get equal opportunity and educational opportunities. Okay. So we have seen higher education in the post-independence era. After independence in 1948, the central government appointed University Education Commission and the chairman was Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Now it functions where that financial grant should be given, standard of university, and with the coordination. We have seen University Education of Commission. Then what were the methods? 5-year plan methods were done. Then the sanction and disburse of grants, planning of university education, coordination of syllabi, then giving primacy to the national needs to education, then planning and implementation of various schemes of higher education, establishing university, developed councils, then Center for Advanced Studies for Postgraduate Education, establishing new universities. After the event of television in India, it initiated the countrywide classroom program that was telecasted by the Doordarshan on behalf of this commission. That is the NCR. This was established on 1st of September 1961. Our main objective was to help the central government in the matters of education. Then education, NCRT was given the responsibility of whatever has to be done in the education system. So it may be the research, the training, then the program, different programs, the textbook, the curriculum. Then it plays a central role in designing the curricula and the textbook with the help of CBSE. Then it gives guidance and cooperation in the areas of primary and secondary education to the state government. Then it has designed various workbooks, textbooks, and it has also arranged many teaching learning techniques, then conduct talent search exams at national levels. Then SCRT were established in all states on the lines of the NCRT. Then Maharashtra State Council of Education, Research and Training was established in Pune. So the various functions that performed by Maharashtra State Council of Education, Research and Training was that improving the standard of primary education, giving service to the teacher, giving training to the in-service teachers, and giving training, whatever the changes has to be done in the syllabus and evaluation, how has to be done. then vocational courses which has to be chosen by the students after the 10th and 12th. They are guided on that. So we have seen all this. We have seen the national policy of education. Okay. So students, we have finished till here. So the next part, remaining part will be seeing tomorrow. So till